Hey everyone. Welcome back to Worth Coins. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting and hidden treasures that might just be in your pocket right now. If you've ever held a US 1-cent coin from 1971, specifically from the Denver Mint, you might be holding on to more than just 1 cent. It could be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. In today's video, we're exploring the value, history, and secrets behind the 1971 Lincoln penny, and why it's become such a coveted piece among collectors. Let's rewind to the beginning. The Lincoln penny was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. For over a century, this coin has held a unique place in American culture and history, and over the years, it has gone through various design changes and modifications. But one thing has stayed constant: its representation of Lincoln as a symbol of freedom and unity. Now, the 1971 penny, like all Lincoln cents, bears the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. This image was designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse side at the time showed the Lincoln Memorial, a design added in 1959 to honor Lincoln's legacy further. But not all 1971 pennies are created equal, and this is where the excitement starts. So, what makes the 1971 penny so special? Let's break down some of the key details about this coin. First off, this penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by the small D mark on the obverse side. It was struck with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which was standard for pennies made before 1982. That high copper content means these coins are a bit heavier than the pennies we're used to today, weighing in at about 3.11 grams. Now, here's a fascinating fact for you. Even though the 1971 penny is common in circulation, some coins have unique characteristics, making them worth a lot more than their face value. One of the biggest factors here is condition. Pristine, uncirculated 1971 pennies are rare, and that's where the big money comes in. But there are also certain errors on these coins that collectors are willing to pay a high price for. Let's get into the details of what makes certain 1971 pennies so valuable. When it comes to collecting, errors can significantly raise a coin's value. The most sought-after 1971 pennies feature rare minting errors that were not caught during production. One of the most famous errors for the 1971 penny is the double die error. In this case, the coin shows a doubling effect on letters or numbers, particularly in areas like the date or inscriptions such as Liberty and In God We Trust. These double die errors are a collector's dream because they're rare, and they can be hard to spot without close inspection. In addition to doubling, there's also what we call struck-through errors. This can happen if something like a piece of fabric or wire accidentally gets between the die and the coin during production. Struck-through errors create unique and unrepeatable marks on a coin, giving it an added level of rarity and interest. And here's where things get exciting: some of these error coins have been sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. Even if your 1971 penny doesn't have an error, coins in pristine condition can still hold significant value to collectors. So, you may be wondering, how much could my 1971 penny actually be worth? It all depends on condition. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor to mint state, with higher grade coins being worth more. A circulated 1971 penny might only fetch a few cents, but if it's in uncirculated condition, you could be looking at anywhere from $5 to $50. For collectors, the ultimate goal is to find a mint state example, which means the coin has no visible wear and looks just as it did when it came off the press. In 1971, millions of pennies were struck at the Denver Mint, so finding a mint state 1971 penny is challenging, but not impossible. And if your coin has a significant error like a double die or a struck-through error in mint state, we're talking big money. At auction, these rare coins have been known to fetch prices between $100 and $1,000 or more, depending on the exact characteristics and demand. Alright, so now you know what makes the 1971 penny valuable. But how can you find one for yourself? First things first, check your loose change. You might be surprised by what's hiding in plain sight. When examining your pennies, use a magnifying glass or coin microscope to inspect details on the obverse side carefully. Look at the date, the word Liberty, and other inscriptions for any signs of doubling or irregularities. Even the smallest error could mean a big payday for you. Remember, handling coins carefully is essential to preserve their condition. Use gloves to avoid getting oils from your skin onto the surface, and store any valuable finds in protective cases. Collecting coins like the 1971 penny isn't just about potential profit, it's also about preserving a piece of history. These pennies tell the story of the United States and are a tangible connection to the past. Even if you don't find one worth a fortune, each coin has its unique history and value. And who knows? The coins you save today might become a priceless treasure for future generations. It's a thrilling hobby that combines history, art, and the thrill of discovery. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found today's video on the 1971 penny as fascinating as I did. Don't forget to check your coins, you might be holding on to a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button for more coin collecting tips, history, and stories of valuable finds. And remember to drop a comment if you have any 1971 pennies or if you're a coin collector. I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, happy treasure hunting. This script should help you engage viewers with both the detailed history and the practical tips for identifying and valuing the 1971 Lincoln cent. Let me know if you'd like additional sections or more specific details. Imagine holding a small piece of history right in your hand, a coin that's only worth a single cent but could be valued at thousands of dollars today. The 1983 United States 1-cent coin, often overlooked in our spare change, holds a fascinating story full of unexpected twists, rare varieties, and untold value. To understand why the 1983 1-cent coin is so special, we need to go back in time and take a look at the history of the U.S. penny. The penny has been a part of American currency since 1793, with multiple redesigns, metal changes, and some surprising alterations along the way. One of the most iconic designs, the Lincoln penny, was introduced in 1909, marking the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. This design has stood the test of time, becoming one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. But in 1982, a monumental change was made to the penny, one that would set the stage for the rare and valuable 1983 varieties. Due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a crucial decision. Up until then, pennies were 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, this made them more costly to produce than they were worth, especially as copper prices continued to soar. In 1982, the Mint began producing pennies made primarily of zinc, with a thin copper plating, drastically reducing the coin's weight and production cost. 1983 was a transitional and somewhat chaotic year for the penny. Since the switch to zinc had only recently been made, there were still a few copper pennies mistakenly produced in 1983, making them exceptionally rare. Normally, 1983 pennies should weigh about 2.5 grams because of their new zinc core. However, a few were struck on the old 3.1-gram copper planchets, creating a rare and valuable mistake. Collectors quickly became aware of this variation, and today, 1983 copper pennies are highly sought after. But even more common 1983 pennies can hold significant value. Why? Because they hold the potential for unique varieties like double dies or mint errors that can dramatically boost their worth. Now, you might be wondering how a single penny from 1983 could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Here are the top factors to consider. First, let's talk about double die errors. This happens when the die strikes the coin more than once with a slight misalignment, causing certain features to appear doubled. 1983 pennies with a double die on the reverse side, particularly in the 1 cent and United States of America inscriptions, are extremely valuable, with some coins selling for over $15,000. Next, as we mentioned, there were a few 1983 pennies mistakenly struck on copper planchets. Since these coins are incredibly rare, they're highly valuable. One of these copper 1983 pennies could fetch upwards of $10,000 or more, depending on its condition and rarity. Lastly, high-grade coins are also valuable. Coins rated by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, as mint state, MS, 65 or higher are considered top-quality specimens and can sell for several $100s or more, even if they're made of the standard zinc composition. So, how can you tell if the 1983 penny in your pocket change might be worth more than a cent? Here are some steps to help you identify potentially valuable 1983 pennies. A quick way to identify a copper 1983 penny is by weighing it. If it weighs around 3.1 grams, it's likely made of copper. You'll need a precise scale for this, as zinc pennies should weigh closer to 2.5 grams. Examine the reverse of the coin with a magnifying glass. Check the words 1 cent and United States of America closely. If you see any doubling, you could be looking at a highly valuable double die error. If your coin is free from scratches, nicks, or major wear, it may be in high-grade condition. Such coins could be valuable even without other errors, especially if graded MS-65 or higher by a professional. Today, the market for rare pennies, especially those with errors, has grown significantly. With more people collecting coins and the demand for unique pieces rising, values have shot up. A 1983 double-die penny, as mentioned earlier, can go for thousands of dollars at auction, and copper planchet errors have similar values. It's important to note, though, that the value of these coins depends on their rarity, error type, and condition. For common 1983 pennies in average circulated condition, they're likely worth face value. However, finding one of these rare types could turn your penny into a real treasure. Did you know that pennies actually cost more than 1 cent to produce today? With the rising cost of materials, each penny costs about 2.1 cents to mint. This has led to debates about whether pennies should be phased out of circulation altogether. And here's another fun fact. Some people even melt down old copper pennies for their metal value, although this is illegal for US currency. Next time you come across a 1983 penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small fortune. Who knew a penny could hold such history, mystery, and value? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories about coins, currency, and collectibles. And who knows, maybe you'll find the next rare coin right in your pocket change. This script combines historical context, valuable collecting tips, and visually engaging descriptions to keep viewers hooked and informed. With detailed visuals and close-up shots, this video would captivate collectors and casual viewers alike. We're diving into the world of small but mighty treasures. You might think a single penny isn't worth much these days, but what if I told you that one little coin from 1993 might be worth more than you think? Let's break down the fascinating story, value, and hidden worth of the 1993 United States 1-cent coin. Our journey with the United States penny begins all the way back in 1909. That year, the U.S. Mint issued the first ever penny with Abraham Lincoln's face on it, commemorating his 100th birthday. Before this, U.S. cents depicted Lady Liberty or other allegorical figures. Known as the Lincoln wheat cent, it featured the image of Lincoln on the front and wheat stalks on the back. But in 1959, to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial, which many of us recognize today. The reverse side of the coin now showed the iconic Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C. This Lincoln Memorial design continued all the way through the 20th century and into the early 2000s. But within this long history, there are certain years that stand out to collectors for their unique quirks or minting details. And 1993 happens to be one of them. So, what's special about the 1993 penny? At first glance, it might look just like any other cent, but a closer look reveals the subtle beauty and craftsmanship of this little coin. On the obverse side, we have Abraham Lincoln's profile, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has remained mostly unchanged since 1909, showcasing Lincoln's sharp profile and distinctive look. Turning to the reverse side, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo. Look closely, and you'll see that Lincoln's statue is actually visible between the columns, a tiny detail that can be easily missed without magnification. Let's talk about what sets the 1993 penny apart. While it doesn't have any particularly rare error varieties, it does mark an interesting point in penny production. Up until 1982, pennies were mostly made of copper. But due to rising costs, the U.S. Mint switched to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper coating. So the 1993 penny, like those made since 1982, is mostly zinc. This composition change makes pennies from 1982 onward lighter and more prone to wear and corrosion, making high-quality specimens even more valuable over time. Coins from the early 1990s, including 1993, can still be found in great condition if they haven't been heavily circulated, making them appealing for collectors. But there's more to it than just the metal, it's about rarity, condition, and collector demand. Now for the big question, what is a 1993 penny worth? Well, most 1993 pennies are still only worth 1 cent if they're in regular circulated condition. You probably have a few in your change jar right now. But if you come across a 1993 penny that's in brilliant, uncirculated condition, meaning it looks practically new, it could be worth a little more. For instance, a 1993 penny in uncirculated condition can sell for around 25 to 50 cents, depending on the demand among collectors. Doesn't sound like much. Well, if you find one that's been graded as mint state, MS-67, by a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC, it could be worth several dollars or more. Coins in extremely high grades, like MS-67 or MS-68, are rare because they've never been used in circulation, so they haven't suffered the usual wear and tear. For collectors, the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Unfortunately for thrill seekers, 1993 isn't a big year for major mint errors on the penny. However, errors can happen in any year, so always keep an eye out. Misprints, off-center strikes, or coins with double die errors can fetch premiums from collectors. If you happen to find a 1993 penny with any unusual marks or mistakes, it could be worth significantly more than face value. So, where can you find these valuable 1993 pennies? Believe it or not, your own loose change, bank rolls, and coin jars at home are great places to start. If you're looking for higher quality coins, try looking at local coin shops or online marketplaces like eBay, where you can search for uncirculated or graded coins. Some collectors even use metal detectors to search for coins buried underground, although finding a 1993 penny in mint condition that way might be rare. While the 1993 penny isn't rare now, who knows what the future holds? As time goes on, high-quality 1993 pennies will become scarcer as they wear down or disappear into private collections. This means that their value could increase over time, especially for coins in exceptional condition. Coins, like any collectible, gain value based on condition, demand, and rarity. So if you find a pristine 1993 penny, consider holding on to it. Who knows what it could be worth in a few decades. And there you have it. The 1993 US penny is more than just a piece of pocket change, it's a tiny treasure with a rich history and, for some lucky collectors, a potential future value. Next time you come across a penny in your pocket, take a closer look. You might just be holding on to a little piece of American history. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the fascinating world of coins and collectibles. Let us know in the comments, do you have a 1993 penny, or any other coins you think are valuable? This script provides detailed information, historical context, and a captivating narrative about the 1993 penny's significance. You'll be able to keep viewers engaged and give them useful information on coin collecting and the potential value of these pennies. We're uncovering the secrets of the 1996 D Lincoln cent, a coin that's both common and full of fascinating details that can surprise collectors. We'll look at the story behind it, its value in the collector's market, and what makes some 1996 D cents so valuable. Make sure you watch until the end, because we're also sharing tips on how to find valuable pennies in your own pocket change. The 1-cent coin has a long, rich history in the United States, dating back to 1793. But it wasn't until 1909, the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, that the U.S. Mint introduced the Lincoln cent we know today. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, designed by Victor David Brenner, and it quickly became iconic. The design remained mostly the same until 1959, when the reverse changed to the Lincoln Memorial, a design that lasted until 2008. In 1996, the Lincoln cent was struck at 3 U.S. Mint locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and a special set at West Point. But it's the Denver minted coin we're focusing on today. That D mint mark below the date signifies that it was produced in Denver, Colorado, and this particular mint mark has become crucial in identifying some rare and valuable variations in coins. Let's zoom in and take a closer look at the design. The 1996 D penny features the classic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Casparo. This 1-cent piece is composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, a standard composition since 1982 when the mint switched from solid copper. The details on these coins can vary greatly, and this is where things get interesting for collectors. The Denver Mint produced about 6 billion pennies in 1996, which sounds like a lot, but not all of these pennies were struck perfectly. In fact, some 1996 D pennies have errors or unique features that make them particularly valuable to collectors. So, what makes a 1996 D penny valuable? Well, there are a few things that collectors look for when assessing a coin's worth, including condition, rarity, and minting errors. First up is condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with mint state 70 being a coin in perfect condition. A 1996 D penny in mint state, particularly MS 67 or higher, can be worth far more than face value. At MS 68, these coins can be valued at $500 or more by collectors. So, if you find a 1996 D penny that looks like it just left the mint, you could be holding onto a potential jackpot. Then, there are errors. Minting errors can make certain coins extremely valuable. The 1996 D penny has been found with several types of errors, including the popular double die error. In a double die, parts of the design, such as letters or the date, appear to be duplicated, and this error can add a significant premium to the coin. One example is doubling on the date or the word liberty on the coin. While finding one of these is rare, coins with clear doubling can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the clarity and appeal of the error. And then, there are unique features that can boost a coin's value, such as toning, which refers to a coin's unique color patterns that come from aging. Certain vibrant and attractive toning patterns can make a 1996 D penny stand out in a collection and even add to its value. So, while toning may not make a coin worth thousands, it can add some flair and a little extra value. Now that you know what to look for, you might be wondering where to find these valuable 1996 D pennies. The good news? They're out there in circulation, hiding in plain sight. You might find one in your change, in a jar of old coins, or even in a coin collection from a family member. But, once you find one, how do you know it's worth selling? And where should you sell it? Well, getting your coin professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC can help you determine its grade and value. Coins that have been authenticated and graded tend to sell for higher prices. Platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and dedicated coin marketplaces are ideal for selling your rare finds. Remember, the condition, grading, and rarity of features all play a role in determining your final payout. Who knew a simple penny could be so valuable? While most 1996 D pennies won't bring in a fortune, the possibility that one in your pocket change could be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars is what makes coin collecting so exciting. So, next time you get some change back, take a closer look. You might just be holding a hidden treasure. And if you're interested in learning more about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We've got plenty more tips, coin stories, and collecting advice coming your way. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. This script provides a captivating and informative overview of the 1996 D Lincoln Cent, tailored to keep viewers engaged with historical context, visual breakdowns, and actionable tips on finding valuable coins. Have you ever come across an old penny and wondered if it's worth more than just 1 cent? Well, today, we're taking a closer look at the 1996 1-cent coin from the United States. It may look like just a regular penny, but in the world of coin collecting, even a seemingly ordinary coin can hide an exciting story, and sometimes, an impressive value. Let's dive into what makes the 1996 penny unique, the history of the coin, and the hidden factors that can make it worth far more than its face value. If you're a coin enthusiast, or even just someone curious about the value of pocket change, stick around. Our journey starts with the history of the US 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln penny. The design of the penny has a fascinating legacy dating back to 1909, when President Abraham Lincoln first appeared on the US 1-cent coin. This was a monumental design choice at the time. No other real-life figure had ever been depicted on American coins. But Lincoln, a symbol of unity and leadership, was chosen to mark the centennial of his birth, making the Lincoln Cent a historic piece. But let's fast forward to the year 1996. By this point, Lincoln's face had been on the penny for 87 years. The design on the front or obverse remained Lincoln's familiar profile, while the reverse, which showed the Lincoln Memorial, had been added in 1959. The 1996 penny is part of what collectors call the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 until 2008. In 1996, over 12 billion 1-cent coins were minted across 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. These coins were made primarily from copper-plated zinc, a shift from the earlier bronze coins used up until 1982. Why the change? This material shift saved costs for the U.S. Mint, as copper prices were rising. However, this switch also influenced the coin's durability and color, and some collectors argue that the pre-1982 pennies, with higher copper content, have a richer tone and weight. Now, not every 1996 penny is valuable, but there are some unique versions that can be worth a lot more than a cent. The value of a coin depends on several factors: rarity, condition, mint mark, and any errors or special details. The 1996 penny was primarily minted in 3 places: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark for proofs. Of these, the San Francisco proof coins tend to be more valuable because they were specially made for collectors with a finer finish. One particular 1996 penny that excites collectors is the proof penny from the San Francisco Mint. These coins were struck with more care, resulting in sharper details and a mirror-like surface. The San Francisco proof coins weren't meant for general circulation, making them less common. If you have one in pristine condition, or what collectors call Proof 70 or PR 70, it could be worth several dollars or more. Now here's where things get interesting. In the world of coin collecting, errors often mean extra value. Even small mistakes can make a coin incredibly rare and desirable. Some of the 1996 pennies have these valuable errors. One notable error is the double die. This happens when the coin's image or letters are struck twice, slightly off alignment, creating a doubling effect. If you come across a 1996 penny with doubling, especially on Lincoln's face or the date, you could have a rare find that's worth far more than a penny. Another error to look out for is the broad strike error, where the coin is struck without a solid rim, often leading to a broader, flatter appearance. If you find one of these in your change, hold on to it. This error type can also fetch a nice premium from collectors. So, how do you know if your 1996 penny is worth more than just a cent? It all comes down to the coin's condition, which collectors call the grade. Coins in pristine, mint state condition are valued higher than those that show wear and tear. The Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, are popular organizations that can officially grade coins. They evaluate factors like luster, strike quality, and the presence of any scratches or marks. If you think your penny is valuable, getting it graded could make it easier to sell and increase its market value. So, what is a 1996 penny worth today? While most 1996 pennies in average condition are still only worth a cent or two, a coin in near-perfect condition, especially with a minting error or proof finish, can go for significantly more. Generally, a high-grade 1996 penny from the Philadelphia or Denver Mint might sell for a few dollars, while a perfect San Francisco proof penny could reach upwards of $20 or more. And, if you're lucky enough to find an error coin, like a double die or broad strike, it could be worth hundreds to the right collector. Auctions are a common place to see these coins in action. Rare coins with unique errors or high-grade proofs often fetch top prices online. It's always exciting to see what collectors are willing to pay for a tiny piece of history. Though small and often overlooked, the 1996 penny has a story to tell, just like every coin in your pocket change. It's a symbol of U.S. history, Lincoln's legacy, and the artistry of American coinage. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, there's so much to discover in the world of coins. So, next time you spot a penny from 1996, take a closer look. You never know if it might be hiding a little piece of history and maybe even some hidden value. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1996 penny and want to know more about other hidden gems in your change, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more coin collecting insights. Happy hunting, and may you find a treasure in your pocket change. This script will provide an engaging, informative experience for viewers while educating them on the 1996 pennies background, variations, and collectible value.